if the kiln wash side was different than the not kiln washed side.
And can we show the crack? Can we do, let's do a...
I can move him over a little bit if we need to get the overhead.
And just a question, I see where the crack happened on his face. Would the glass pick that up?
I don't know, let's look and see. It does look like it picked up that crack right there, right here.
Oh yeah.
It's right there. And also this one right on. So yes, it did. It picked it up right across there.
Nice and warm.
Yes.
But let's show, so this is the piece. I think you can see where it picked up the crack right there.
Right, picked up that one, right, and that was this crack right here.
And then let's show them the actual mold so they can see the crack on the mold. Okay.
So do I need to move this guy over a little bit? Right. So,
Yes, we'll get it here in a minute.
Yep, so this crack right here.
That's the crack.
Right. And it corresponds to this guy right over here.
Okay, so let's switch the camera to show the mold.
The overhead one.
Yes. There we
Right,
go.
there's the crack right there. So, and you can even see, like, it cracked into pieces. Okay. So you could use plaster if you absolutely had to, but just know that things are going to be sketchy. Actually, if you were to use plaster of Paris, I would run that stainless steel wire on it before you even fire it, because it would hold it together during the firing process. Okay. So this is the Pottery Plaster 1 that we just did. This is the fired version of the one we just poured. So of this guy right here. And this is again lead crystal, which didn't melt very well. Oh, it did all kinds of crazy things.
Is it because of the way the consistency of this?
It's actually because of the way I broke the glass, because I just put all my crystal candlesticks in a bag and smashed them.
That sounded like a fun activity.
It was fun, but that's all the little bits and scrumbly leftovers.
I mean, just for you guys to see, it's not like this is...
It's not art, it's just, but the key thing I want you to see here is look at the shape that the mold is in, because there's no cracking.
Yes.
And you could definitely, again, fire this guy just right again.
So let's show the mold. Zoom in on that.
So let's see. So this is the fired version and the unfired version. So we can use it more than once without having to do anything tricky to it.
So that's this right here that we're seeing is the fired version.
It's the fired version.
And then the unfired.
The one we just made. And you can see the change in color too, because this one still has a lot of water in it. But so this is why we choose the materials that we choose.
The clean, I noticed the one that we just did obviously has the clay in there. Is it simply because the clay was still wet, or?
Yeah, it is. And so before I fire it, I usually brush it out with a soft paintbrush. And then you can kiln wash it or not. I kiln washed halfway down this one. So this side was kiln washed and this one wasn't. It didn't seem to make any difference. But yeah, if there is any leftover clay, it just fires white.
Okay.
So you won't. So you might be able to see some.
On the one that cracked, is that plaster of Paris without silica?
It's plaster of Paris with silica. And so the silica helped, because it didn't just dissolve into powder completely, but it's still, the plaster itself still breaks down at a lower temperature than the other kinds of plaster. So it was more just of an example for you guys to see why this would not be your first choice necessarily, right? Like, why would you spend the money for Hydrocal? This is why. Or why you would spend the money for pottery plaster. This is why you would want to think about it, because you can use it more than once. It's a lot of work to go through just to use it one time.
Okay, yeah, it definitely is.
And so this is the Hydrocal one, and we did have some requests for Hydrocal information, and this is Hydrocal, and it's another version of plaster that is even harder than pottery plaster. So you go like this is a grade A, this is a grade B, this is a grade D-ish, right, in terms of making molds like this. And here, this is again lead crystal, and this one had some compatibility issues, you can see right there.
Oh, that's why it cracked?
Yep, that's why it cracked, but I was mostly just playing, so it was okay.
I like it how it's nice and warm. So here's the lead crystal, just in case you're curious about the results of that. That's the back right there.
And you actually, if you look at it at the right angle, you can see one of the pieces that cracked is a slightly different color
Oh, so
of
let's
glass.
see.
So it might even have been lead crystal with a not lead crystal. I'm not sure. Anyway, it was
Okay.
just plain.
So do we need to do a zoom on this
Sure,
hydrocal?
let's do that. And then I also wanted to show you, I don't know how, if it will show.
So this is the hydrocal for you guys to see.
Right, this one right here is the hydrocal. So this is the hardest plaster. And then, so I just wanted to see if you can, I don't know.
Yeah, give it a, if you,
Right.
do you need them to see it scraping?
I don't know. I just wanted to like maybe, if I don't even know if that helps, just to give you an idea of like how
How easy?
hard they are, right?
Well, okay, so let's
But-
do that, but do it again in slow-mo so we can get the camera right
Okay.
on that so they can see.
Okay.
So start with the hydrocal one, give it just a
Okay.
second. Okay, so now look at that, so they can see the
Right, so
consistency.
you can see it's still, it's still carvable for sure. And then here's the, this is the pottery plaster one right here.
So go to that one, give it a second.
This
Can we
one
do it
right
on
here.
this side?
Oh, this side.
Yes.
Yes, you're talking to me. Ha, you gotta specify who you're talking to, lady.
So that's,
Okay.
this one is, which
This
one?
is the pottery plaster one.
Okay,
And this is the plaster of Paris one.
and then, hold on.
Okay,
There we go, that one.
right,
Plaster of Paris. So that seems,
right. So what it actually feels